The walls were too tall to climb, too thick to breach. So when European explorers finally reached them in 1871, they did something far more destructive. They rewrote who built them. For 80 years, one of Africa's greatest feats of engineering was erased from its own history. What your teachers told you about African civilization, it isn't the whole story. This is the story of Great Zimbabwe. It's about stone, gold, and a trading empire that reached the courts of Ming Dynasty China. It's about 18,000 people who built a city without mortar, without blueprint, without a single foreign architect. And it's about the truth that colonial historians spent a century trying to bury. Let me show you what really happened. 1100 AD. While Europe waged the Crusades in the granite hills of southern Africa, the Shona people were building something extraordinary. No cement, no iron scaffold, no foreign hand, just stone, precision, and genius. By 1300, the Kingdom of Zimbabwe controlled the medieval world's most coveted resource, gold. Arab traders at the port of Sofala, on the Indian Ocean coast, wrote of a mysterious inland empire, wealthy beyond description. Portuguese chronicles called its ruler's court greater than anything in Europe. At its peak, 1300 to 1420 CE, Great Zimbabwe housed 18,000 people across 722 hectares. Chinese celadon porcelain, Persian faience bead, Indonesian cowrie shell, all found inside these walls. This was not an isolated African village. This was a global trade capital. Nobody warned the European explorers what they were about to find, or what their arrival would eventually cost. September 1871, Karl Mach, a German geologist, pushed through the brush of the Limpopo highland. Then he stepped into a clearing and stopped. Before him, the great enclosure, walls 11 meters high, 5 meters thick, 900,000 hand-cut granite blocks, fitted without a single drop of water, still standing. 7 centuries later, Mach stared at those walls and made a choice, not of courage, but of convenience. He wrote in his journal, "This must be Solomon's temple, the Queen of Sheba. Anything, anyone but Africa." Cecil Rhodes spread the myth deliberately. If Great Zimbabwe wasn't African, then Africa had nothing worth protecting and everything worth taking. Across the region, Shona elders who knew exactly who built these walls were silent. Their oral histories dismissed as legend. In 1902, Richard Hall was appointed the site's first European curator. He spent years destroying it, excavating away what he called the filth of Kaffir occupation, erasing irreplaceable archaeological layers forever. The Zimbabwe bird, 8 sacred soapstone sculptures of Shona royalty, were removed from the ruins and shipped to Cecil Rhodes' personal estate. 6 have never been returned. Then, in 1929, a British archaeologist named Gertrude Cotton Thompson arrived with a team of women researchers. She dug carefully. She dated honestly. Her conclusion was unambiguous. Great Zimbabwe was built entirely by indigenous Africans. Colonial newspapers buried the story. Governments called her finding politically motivated. History, once written for empire, does not yield easily. Here's what history books still don't fully say. Great Zimbabwe was not a regional curiosity. It was the center of a medieval global trade network operating centuries before European contact. Song Dynasty porcelain, Persian glass, Arab coin, Congo copper ink, all excavated from these ruins. Great Zimbabwe's merchants were trading across the Indian Ocean before Columbus was. The pattern that buried Great Zimbabwe is repeating right now. Across sub-Saharan Africa, dozens of major archaeological sites sit underfunded, unexcavated, and underreported. The same dismissal, the same silence. When Zimbabwe gained independence in 1980, the nation named itself after these ruins, not for nostalgia. As a statement, the builders left no written language we have yet decoded, but they left something more enduring. 900,000 stones still standing, still speaking. History is full of civilizations like this, ones that changed the world quietly, without European permission. Next week, the Mali Empire and the man so wealthy, his pilgrimage to Mecca crashed the global gold market. Subscribe so you don't miss it. What African civilization should I cover next? Comments are open. Thank you for watching and for remembering what history forgot. I'll see you in the next